Okay, here we are. Kim Reads Urantia. I was just playing with my kitty cat, right? She's right here. Do you want to see? Come here, baby. This is Miss Margot. This is Miss Margot. She's my beautiful lady. Okay. Thanks for saying hi, darling. Okay, first we're going to read from the Urantia book. Okay. No, wait, I'm all mixed up. Okay, we're going to read from the Urantia book, but first we're going to read from Andrew Harvey's Light the Flame. Okay, and this is May 3rd, and this is Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche, you know, and I always say Nietzsche, I think, was misunderstood. And but anyway, Andy was so cute. He read this part by mistake yesterday, so I'm just going to read it again. Okay, let us build our nest in the tree of the future. Eagles will bring the lonely food in their beaks. Let us live like strong winds, neighbors to the eagles, to the snow, to the sun. Let us live like strong, free winds. Okay, that's awesome. That is so masculine to me. So, and Nietzsche had this idea of the superhuman, the Uberman. Like this was, see, he was feeling his highest potential. And he wanted everybody to have that. So then we could be like God, like gods. Okay, and this is kind of this is a tricky concept because we can't. There's such a fine line between, yeah, God means us to be like God, to have the to be powerful and to be creative and to build our futures. God means us to do all that, but God does not mean us to be God. We always need to be subordinate to God. So that's kind of where the difference comes. Some people who studied Nietzsche said that, you know, he was too prideful. He wanted to be God instead of just be like God. I don't know, because he said God is dead, da 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 da. We don't need God anymore. And I don't know. I haven't read all of Nietzsche's work. I've read some of it, but yeah, it's that powerful masculine, fulfill our potential. That is, it can be dangerous, but you know, we just gotta not take it that far. Yeah, we want to be our best selves, but no, we need God. We can't just be our best selves and substitute ourselves for God. See, that's where that gets dangerous, and that's a very high cardinal sin, the pride before the fall kind of thing. And Nietzsche did go insane. So fascinating individual. I should look more into his biography. But a very spiritual individual and somebody who has lessons. His life is both a beacon to us and a, you know, and a warning to us, I feel. So anyway, yeah, I want to live strong, but I always need God. All right, let's let go. And we are on part 7 of paper number 2. This is the last section of paper 2. We'll move on to paper 3. How exciting, right? Okay, divine truth and beauty. All finite knowledge and creature understanding are relative. Information and intelligence gleaned from even high sources is only relatively complete, locally accurate, and personally true. Right? Because I can't know everything. You know, it's only all finite knowledge is relative. Totally makes sense. Yeah. And that's that pride part. If you get to feeling like, yeah, I'm somehow hooked into the ultimate knowledge of everything. You're so small. You know, we're so small here on this little speck of dust that we call home. There's so much out there, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's huge. Physical facts are fairly uniform, but truth is a living and flexible factor in the philosophy of the universe. Evolving personalities are only partially wise and relatively true in their communications. They can be certain only as far as their personal experience extends. That which apparently may be wholly true in one place may be only relatively true in another segment of creation. Yep. Divine truth, final truth is uniform and universal, but the story of things spiritual, as it is told by numerous individuals hailing from various spheres, may sometimes vary in details owing to this relativity in the completeness of knowledge and in the repleteness of personal experience, as well as in the length and extent of that experience. While the laws and decrees, the thoughts and attitudes of the first great source and center are eternally, infinitely, and universally true, at the same time, their application to and adjustment for every universe, system, world, and created intelligence are in accordance with the plans and technique of the Creator Sons as they function in their respective universes, as well as in harmony with the local plans and procedures of the infinite spirit and of all their associated celestial personalities. Yeah, so, yeah, the only absolute truth is that God loves you. God is love, and everything's okay. If you have faith, everything's okay. So just relax in that certainty, and everything else is in the process of discovery. We've found only part of it. Like the blind men that were looking at the elephant. Well, they were looking at, that's funny, Kim. They were looking at the elephant. They were touching the elephant, right? And one person said, "Oh, this is a wall." The other one says, "No, it's a tree. It's a rope. It's a snake. It's a sharp spear. It's a big fan," right? All these guys. And they were all right. They were, you know, the important thing to remember is that they were all correct in their way. But the truth is bigger than any one of them, or any two of them, or any five of them. The truth is bigger than we can grasp. Okay. Now I know what an elephant is. But if, you put God in for the elephant, it's like, no, I can't know God like that. I can only know God I can know what God reveals to me. Someday I'll be big enough, my awareness, my understanding will be complete enough to where I can see God, or I can be with God. And I can't imagine what that would be like now. Okay, but I'm going to keep going. The false science of materialism would sentence mortal man to become an outcast in the universe. Right, because it says that it sentences you to be the objective observer. And everything else is happening, and it's our job to sit back and observe it. So when we participate in it, then we lose that objectivity. So, And that's what science wants us to be, is this objective observer, which is fine, but go in and out of that. You know, you can go in and out of it. And one is not better than the other. It's just part of it, right? Ooh, such partial knowledge is potentially evil. It is knowledge composed of both good and evil. Right, the knowledge of the observer. Truth is beautiful because it is both replete and symmetrical. Symmetrical. Like looking in a mirror is symmetrical. When man searches for truth, he pursues the divinely real. So the materialism of science is always just partially there. Because it's only embracing the point of view of the observer, which is just one point of view. But as God wouldn't allow that, because it's not possible to be outside of some of these metaphysical systems. It's not even possible, because by observing the system, you change it. Okay, philosophers commit their gravest error, when they are misled into the fallacy of abstraction, the practice of focusing the attention upon one aspect of reality and then of pronouncing such an isolated aspect to be the whole truth. The wise philosopher will always look for the creative design which is behind and pre-existent to all universe phenomena. The creator thought invariably precedes creative action. Okay, so anyway, these philosophers are detaching themselves here by thinking only in abstraction and not in practical terms. So there needs to be a balance between the practical and the theoretical. And that's the complete truth. One without the other is worthless. We're finding that. Intellectual self-consciousness can discover the beauty of truth, its spiritual quality, not only by the philosophic consistency of its concepts, but more certainly and surely by the unerring response of the ever-present spirit of truth. Happiness ensues from the recognition of truth because it can be acted out. It can be lived. So truth can be lived. Now that's a weird concept, because we always think of truth as something that can be known, or you can act upon it, but live truth itself. So become wholly real and genuine in everything you do. Be totally there, present at all times. So not only are you believing in truth, you are truth. You are the truth. You're here. Live your life in a genuine way. Disappointment and sorrow attend upon error because, not being a reality, it cannot be realized in experience. Divine truth is best known by its spiritual flavor. Okay, so disappointment only happens when you think that something is real when it's not real. When I believe that person loves me, and then I'm going to hold on to that belief, and then I find out it crashes, and then when I find out he doesn't love me, right? Okay, so that can't happen if I only base my hopes on what's already here, what's here. Okay, I know on reality. See? So then I can't be disappointed. Okay? The eternal quest is for unification, for divine coherence. The far-flung physical universe coheres in the Isle of Paradise. The intellectual universe coheres in the mind of God. The conjoint actor, the spiritual universe, is coherent in the personality of the eternal Son. But the isolated mortal of time and space coheres in God the Father through the direct relationship between the indwelling thought adjuster and the universal Father. Okay. Man's adjuster is a fragment of God and everlastingly seeks for divine unification. It coheres with and in the paradise deity of the first source and center. So our thought adjuster is here, but it's always trying to tune into God. It's always trying to find God. Okay. So we're looking for unification. And I think this is when we talk about truth has a spiritual flavor. And I think I would say that that flavor is unity. Okay. So when I have a concept that fits into several different ways of thinking or manners of being here, then that's unification. Then that's true in this way. Even though it's relative, it's only true here for these things, but still that constitutes an expansion of true experience, right? Yeah. So when we talk about how do I know if something's true? Well, is it satisfying? Does it satisfy your desire? Does it make sense? Does it fill in the gaps? Okay. And it might be that it only fills in some of the gaps, but then leaves others that I'm not aware of, and that it will have to give way to an even greater truth. Okay. So the truth that, okay, in a grand scale here, the truth that Jesus died for to redeem our sins. Okay, so they built a whole religion over 2,000 years on that concept. And it's a marvelous concept. And okay, a lot of people have found truth in that redemptive value. Okay, but that needs to cave in to give way to the higher truth, which is Jesus's message about the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. That Jesus lived his life as a human because he wanted to know us. He didn't come here to take responsibility for our sins. So that's bigger. Okay. The discernment of supreme beauty is the discovery and integration of reality, the discernment of the divine goodness in the eternal truth. That is ultimate beauty. Even the charm of human art consists in the harmony of its unity. I've thought a bit about what is beauty? What does it mean? And what I came up with, it's the interface between it's the moment when something higher is revealed and is integrated into new to make new ways of thinking. So it's the moment of letting go of old things that don't work anymore and adapting something higher. And everybody can see that something has changed, you know, but you can't, describe that always in physical ways. Okay, so the art that is most beautiful will reveal to us our own, oh gosh, our own I don't know, capacities or potentials for growth, possibilities for yeah. That's what we see as beautiful or fascinating, is that wow, this is something, this art or this person is showing me something that I hadn't thought was possible, and now it's possible. And so it's this interface, is this place where we take a step toward divinity, um, in however that manifests in performing art, or you know, or just personal being. It's manifestation of another level of understanding and communicating. Okay, she likes to rub her face on my computer, this little girl. Yeah. Okay, go play, go play, go away, go play. All right. No. All right. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay. The great mistake of the Hebrew religion was its failure to associate the goodness of God with the factual truths of science and the appealing beauty of art. As civilization progressed, and since religion continued to pursue the same wise course of overemphasizing the goodness of God to the relative exclusion of truth and neglect of beauty, there developed an increasing tendency for certain types of men to turn away from the abstract and dissociated concept of isolated goodness. The overstressed and isolated morality of modern religion, which fails to hold the devotion and loyalty of many 20th century men, would rehabilitate itself if, in addition to its moral mandates, it would give equal consideration to the truths of science, philosophy, and spiritual experience, and to the beauties of the physical creation, the charm of intellectual art, and the grandeur of genuine character achievement. All right. So that was a problem in the Jewish religion. They didn't have a balanced idea of what was true and beautiful. It has to be balanced. Okay. The religious challenge of this age is to those far-seeing and forward-looking men and women of spiritual insight who will dare to construct a new and appealing philosophy of living out of the enlarged and exquisitely integrated modern concepts of cosmic truth, universe beauty, and divine goodness. Such a new and righteous vision of morality will attract all that is good in the mind of man and challenge that which is best in the human soul. Truth, beauty, and goodness are divine realities, and as man ascends the scale of spiritual living, these supreme qualities of the eternal become increasingly coordinated and unified in God, who is love. Do you want to read? Do you want to read the book? Okay. She knows how to read. She just won't do it right now. She's very stubborn. Yes, she just wants to be scratched right now. She just likes that. Oh my gosh, we love that. Oof, that's divine goodness right there. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. All truth, material, philosophic, or spiritual, is both beautiful and good. All real beauty material art, or spiritual symmetry is both true and good. All genuine goodness, whether personal morality, social equity, or divine ministry, is equally true and beautiful. Okay, so this is really neat. They're saying, truth is beautiful and good. Beauty is good and true. And truth is beautiful and good. And goodness is true and beautiful. So yeah, it's all reflective. It's all perfect cycle, perfect balance. Health, sanity, and happiness are integrations of truth, beauty, and goodness. As they are blended in human experience. Such levels of efficient living come about through the unification of energy systems, idea systems, and spirit systems. Very good. Truth is coherent. Beauty is attractive. Goodness is stabilizing. And when these values of that which is real are coordinated in personality experience, the result is a high order of love, conditioned by wisdom and qualified by loyalty. The real purpose of all universe education is to effect the better coordination of the isolated child of the world with the larger realities of his expanding experience. Reality is finite on the human level, infinite and eternal on the higher and divine levels. Yep. So the purpose of universe education is to better coordinate the isolated child of the worlds with larger realities. So we're all learning how to integrate higher realities into our experience. Presented by a divine counselor acting by authority of the Ancients of Days on you, Versa. Okay, that's marvelous. Thank you very much for being with me again. All right. Okay, see you later. Bye.